Welcome to another episode of Birminology on Lettermen Row. I'm Birm. That is Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah.
And I apologize. It's spelled with a G in there, and silent G's are, I guess, difficult for me. So, Emeka, you're a 2021 defense, athlete, wide receiver, can do everything type guy, out in Steilacoom, Washington. What do you do for your team? What is your primary position for your team out in Washington?
I actually play both ways. So, receiver on offense, corner on defense, maybe a little bit of safety here and there, and also kick returner and punter.
Most colleges are looking at you as on the offensive side of the ball. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
Is that your preference? Do you want to play offense, or do you like hitting people on defense better?
I like playing offense. I'd say, but however way it gets me on the field.
Now, you are right now, and for a lot of our fans, they're still dialed in and focused on the 2020 recruiting class. They don't necessarily pay as close attention to the 2021, but they need to realize and know that you're a top 40 player nationally in that class. You're probably going to be an early 5-star prospect when that comes out. Have you really felt this recruiting stuff get overwhelming yet, or is it still sort of fresh and new and actually enjoyable for you?
At times it has been, but for the most part it's been enjoyable, and it's not too crazy yet considering I haven't hit September 1st yet of my junior year. So I think around then it'll probably pick up, but right now I'm having fun. It's a good time.
Have some of your older friends who are in the 2020 class and peers that are being recruited in that class, have they told you what to expect come September 1st, and how are you preparing for that?
I haven't really talked with them too much about what to expect, but a lot of them say that they get hit up by coaches every day. So, I guess just preparing for that, knowing my phone's going to have, a lot of messages every day, but I think it'll be okay.
Right now, as a younger guy, it's unique because you're a little bit more in control of your recruitment than you are once you get past September 1st. You've been on a number of visits in the last few months. You've been to Notre Dame, Ohio State, UCLA, Oregon. Where else have you been in the last few months?
My most recent visit was at Stanford, and just the ones you mentioned just now.
Right now, you are one of the top targets overall in Ohio State's 2021 class. I don't know if that's news to you or not. It's something that we hear on the grapevine when you cover the team. But what is the relationship like with Ohio State? Understanding that you aren't able to talk to coaches as much as maybe you'd like to.
I have a great relationship with Ohio State. I talk with Coach Hartline probably every 3 days or 2 days or something like that. Talk to the assistant receiver coaches every week. Coach Day probably every week and a half. So pretty consistent relationship with them, and I like where it's headed.
Obviously, that's a place you've been to. What was that visit like, and how did you come out of that feeling about Ohio State, and did it make it a priority for you to say, hey, I absolutely have to get back there?
Yeah, so I was there for a 2-day visit. The first day we did all the tours of the facilities and stuff. Then the second day got to end up seeing spring practice, and I thought that was really good to see. I liked the way they practice, and overall it was just a great visit. I had tons of fun. It felt like home, and I definitely want to get back at some point in time. Your
quarterback in the 2021 class at Ohio State is already figured out. It's Kyle McCord from Philadelphia. Has Kyle reached out to you since he committed, and are you guys starting to build up a relationship at all, or is he sort of laying low?
Yeah, so we've been able to talk back and forth here and there, and he's told me that Coach Day thinks I'm one of his top prospects, so he just wants to get me on board and help build our 2021 class.
It's obviously still very early. You have a lot of teams that you're looking at, a lot of schools you're looking at. You're also a very talented baseball player. Are there any programs that are asking you to come play baseball or trying to use that as a lure to get you on campus?
Not exactly to play baseball. I have had some coaches told me that if I attend the university, I'd have the option to play if I wanted to. But I don't think playing baseball is something that I'm really looking strongly into in college, just focusing on football and not keeping my schedule too crazy.
I know for a lot of Ohio State fans, the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast, it's not always an area that the program recruited hard, and it's certainly something that in the last 2 or 3 years they've really ramped up their efforts out there. What is the reputation of Ohio State in your neck of the woods, and what does it mean for a young player, someone who's not a junior in high school yet, to already have that offer and to already be sort of zeroed in on by a program like that?
I think it's really special. It's a special offer for me, considering where I live and where I'm from in my age group. But the Northwest, especially Washington, known mostly for basketball and Seattle and stuff like that. But last couple of years, we've had some really good football talent come out of the state, and we have 2020 G. Scott Jr. committed to Ohio State, and so that's kind of a gateway for the younger guys coming after him too. So I think it's good that Ohio State is getting out to see the talent here in the Northwest.
Has G made an effort to reach out to you? I mean, how far away are you from Seattle? You have to forgive me, my Pacific Northwest geography is failing.
I'm probably around an hour away from Seattle. I'd say 45 with no traffic. But I talk to G every now and again. We were talking a whole lot at the opening and stuff. So we stay in contact, and he wants me to become a Buckeye as well. So he's recruiting me. How
was that experience for you at the opening as an underclassman, one of the younger guys there? How do you feel you stacked up? What did you learn? What did you take out of that and say, hey, I need to improve on this? And really, I'm curious about how that experience is for you guys.
I thought it was good to see the talent in the 2020 class and look at the guys above you and see kind of where you stack up. But I thought I held my own, and I had a pretty good day. Obviously, they haven't officially invited any underclassmen yet, but I'm hoping that letter comes in the mail.
Did you do all the testing out there and all the running and all that stuff?
Yeah, I tested.
Did you test it well? Were you happy with how you tested?
I was happy with some things. I didn't have as good a 40 as I did in San Antonio, but jumped 35 inches, power ball of 42, and I had a shuttle of 419.
What's your personal best in the 40?
In San Antonio, I recorded a 442. 442.
You're what, 15 years old, 16?
I'm 16.
And 6 foot what? Let's give these people out at home the measurables. Who are you?
I'm 6'1", 190, and yeah.
6'1", 190, 442, 16-year-old. Does it start to get overwhelming when you start to think about all this stuff that's coming your way? Because, I mean, you have a lot of opportunities that most people just simply can't wrap their minds around.
I don't think it's too overwhelming. I have a great support system, and my parents and my fan base, or my coaches and all that, they keep my head on straight, make sure that I keep my head down, stay humble, and keep working, and I'm not satisfied at all with where I am.
Speaking of where you are, let's talk about where you're going. What's next on the recruiting trail? What's next for visits? What are you hoping to accomplish this summer?
No visits planned as of right now, but I'd like to get out to see some SEC, Big 12, ACC schools. Like I said, nothing planned, but definitely looking into taking some of those trips and just staying busy, lifting every day in the summer, and getting stronger, faster, and more knowledgeable for next season.
Do you have any idea, timeline-wise, of when you ideally would like to get this recruiting process finished?
I don't have a timeline, but I know that if I feel right in the times where I'm gonna make my decision so that I can focus on bettering myself instead of worrying about the recruitment process.
Has Coach Hartline and Coach Day, have those guys tried to talk about maybe getting you back to campus this summer, or are they saying come out for a game and let's see let us show you what it's like atmosphere wise on a game day?
Yeah, obviously they've reached out to me to try to get me out this summer, but the summer's pretty busy for me, especially in June. But I'm definitely looking into getting out for a game.
Does knowing how far away Ohio State is, I mean, is that at all a deterrent for you? Obviously, you're talking about the SEC and the ACC, so you don't seem to be too bothered by the idea of traveling, but is there any sense of obligation to stay close to home or any pull or pressure to do that?
It'd be cool to stay close to home so my family could see me play more often, but I'm going to do what's best for me at the end of the day. And if that's a school, that's on the other side of the country, I'm going to make that move because I'm trying to go further than go as far as I possibly can.
Well, look, man, I mean, I know that there's a long way to go in your recruitment. There is a lot of things for you to still do and see, but I really appreciate you taking the time to join us on Birminology on Lettermen Row.